Hi guys, I'm going to continue reading Runaway Ralph. We are in the middle of chapter 5 called The Personal Mouse. Oh, said Ralph, grateful that his teeth did not continue to grow. Chum had another habit that disturbed Ralph. He nipped at Lena whenever she tried to pick him up. That's not nice, said Ralph one day, when he had seen Lena hastily withdraw her hand from her pet's cage. That's biting the hand that feeds you. Oh, I have some rights, said Chum. If I let Lena pick me up, I would never have any peace. Believe me, I know. I made the mistake of letting her pick me up just once, and when she tried to stuff me into a doll's sweater, I knew I had had enough. Chum also sat for long periods of time, swinging gently on his wheel and staring with unblinking eyes at nothing at all. Why do you sit there like that? Asked Ralph, who liked to be busy when he was awake. I'm thinking, answered Chum. Well, thinking about what? Ralph wanted to know. I'm a philosopher, said Chum. I think about life. Life? Ralph was puzzled. Well, what do you mean? Chum sat staring into space so long, Ralph thought he was never going to answer. Finally, the hamster said, Take you, for instance. Just where do you think you're going on that wheel? No place, I guess, admitted Ralph. I never thought that much about it. See what I mean? Said Chum. You run, and you're still in the same old cage. Ralph felt suddenly guilty, as if he had done something wrong, but was not sure what it was. But I like running on my wheel, he said, feeling that his answer was rather lame. Chum did not bother to reply. He continued to sit, swinging, staring, and thinking. Ralph leaped to his wheel and began to run. His paws flew along the wires of the wheel, pushing it faster and faster until he looped the loop. He ran on and on until he began to tire. His paws touched the wires more and more slowly until Ralph coasted to a stop. Then he, too, sat staring and motionless. Well, where was he going? No place. Well, that was where he was going. No place at all. With so many people feeding him, he was not even sure who owned him. Perhaps when the camp closed at the end of the summer, he would be turned out to the mercy of Catso and all of those kittens. Drat Chum and his talk about life, Ralph thought crossly. He has spoiled all my fun. Chum had still another habit disturbing to Ralph. Whenever his owner approached him with a bag of sunflower seeds, Chum suddenly appeared to change from a grouch into an agreeable pet. He climbed to the top of his cage and he accepted sunflower seeds one by one and stuffed them into his cheek pouches. Feeding sunflower seeds to Chum became a daily event in the craft shop. The older campers and some of the counselors gathered around Lena to watch her feed Chum, and as she handed him the seeds, they would count. 14, 15. Ralph watched while Chum's cheek pouches began to bulge. 22, 23, and still Chum's face stretched. The old show-off, thought Ralph. 27, 28. Chum had grown so top-heavy that Ralph was sure he would never make it to 30. 30, 31, chanted the campers. Chum was having such difficulty hanging on that Ralph scarcely could bear to watch. 33. Those paws were slipping. 34. Chum could no longer support his weight. He fell to the bottom of his cage with a thump that made Ralph cringe. 34, shouted Lena, who enjoyed the the attention her pet had received from older boys and girls. "That's Chum's record." "Well, maybe he'll hit 35 tomorrow," someone said, as the campers lost interest in the hamster and went off to their riding lessons or back to their craft work. Chum got to his feet rather groggily and went to the storehouse corner of his cage, where, by placing his front paws behind his cheek pouches, he pushed the seeds out of his mouth until they lay in a heap at his feet. Ralph was disapproving of the whole performance. "Well, that's quite an act," he remarked. "Doesn't it hurt when you fall to the bottom of the cage?" "Well, sure it hurts," said Chum as he pushed out the last sunflower seed. "But it's worth it." "Just to show off?" asked Ralph. "No, silly," said Chum, "for the sunflower seeds that I don't have to pick out from a lot of alfalfa pellets. I perform, and she pays off in sunflower seeds. That's the way it goes." "Yes, but you get hurt," said Ralph. "I hate alfalfa pellets," answered Chum simply. Ralph's turn came after lunch, when the campers were in the dining hall singing a song that they obviously enjoyed, but that Ralph found frightening. "Bill Grogan's goat was feeling fine, ate 3 shirts right off of the line." Garf silently pushed open the screen door, and Ralph leaped from his wheel. Quickly, Garf unlatched the door of the cage, and he extended a sunflower seed with his fingers. This time, he was not singing, but Ralph still did not trust him. "Come on, little fella," coaxed Garf. Ralph retreated to the corner of his cage behind his exercise wheel. "Maybe next time," whispered Garf, and he hurried, cleaned the cage, and refilled the water bottle while the camper's song went on. "The whistle blew, the train drew nigh, Bill Grogan's goat was soon to die. He gave 3 groans of mortal pain, coughed up the shirts, and flagged the train." When the song was finished, the housekeeping for Ralph was completed, and Garf had slipped quickly and silently out of the craft shop without letting the screen door slam or squeak. Ralph stood on his hind legs, holding the bars of his cage with his front paws, and wishing Garf were a different kind of boy. Almost at once, the screen door opened again, and Aunt Jill, with her arm around Garf's shoulders, brought the boy back inside. "Sit down, Garf," she said, and she sat on a bench beside one of the work tables. Scowling, the boy obeyed. "Well, what's the trouble, Garf?" asked Aunt Jill kindly. "Well, what does she mean?" Ralph wondered, and Garf stared at the floor. "You know you have been breaking one of the camp rules," said Aunt Jill. "Campers are not supposed to come into the craft shop without permission unless I am here or one of the counselors." So that's why he's always in a hurry," thought Ralph. "He isn't supposed to be in here. He not only likes bloodthirsty songs, he breaks the rules." Garf continued to stare at the floor. "Well, is there anything we can do to help?" persisted the camp director. "No," said Garf suddenly, "because I'm going to run away, and nobody is going to stop me." Aunt Jill appeared to take this news calmly, but for some reason Ralph did not. He felt a shock of excitement. "Don't do it, boy," he wanted to squeak. "It wouldn't get you any place." And at the same time he realized that a boy who wanted to run away was sure to like motorcycles. Maybe he had misunderstood Garf. Maybe Garf liked speed and would know how to make a miniature motorcycle run. "Well, is there some place you especially want to go?" asked Aunt Jill. No, said Garth, just away. Aunt Jill looked thoughtfully out the back window toward the barn and the riding ring before she turned to Garth and asked, What do you want to do? What do you really, really want to do? Okay, friends, that's where we are going to end today. We are in the middle of chapter 5. Done, done, done. Have a good day, and I'll read some more later.